Listen, people. Hello, and welcome to the conversation. But listen,
Mm.
oh, chat. Okay, so this moment is special for all of us. I think that's fair to say. Welcome to the conversation. This is a special midnight edition of the conversation because listen, people, listen. If you are a How to Get Away with Murder fan in any way, shape, or form, and if you watched tonight's episode, you probably needed this last hour to just get your life together because it's like that. It's just like that. And so we I don't even know what. First of all, let me just give you guys a disclaimer. If you are offended by cuss words, don't watch this show. Seriously. Spoiler alert. We're going to talk about everything that happened tonight. So if you have not seen tonight's episode, don't watch this until after you've seen it. So if you're offended by cussing, don't watch. If you haven't seen tonight's show, spoiler alert, don't watch because we're going to talk about all of it. Now, as far as our guests, we all are and we're drinking. Let me just put that out there too. So we're all drinking. I put on my Annalise lipstick for this very moment. Busted out my Nope shirt because Nope, what? Not
Not
today.
today.
We're not doing this today. And brought out the glass that has my name on it. Shout out to the McFaddens for the dope gift when I crossed DST. So let's get to it. So our co-host Roderic Montrece is going to be joining us in a second. Now he's going to be coming. Now he's in Chicago. He's an hour behind, and we might need to just give him a moment because out of all of us, he's going to probably be cussing louder than everyone. So I'm not entirely sure where to start. We have three guests tonight, and we are going to talk about everything How to Get Away with Murder. Roderic just appeared, so we're going to bring him in first, and then we are going to be talking to LaPorsha, Verbena, and Lucy tonight. Now, we can see your comments, so make sure that if you have questions or if you want to chime in, please make sure you do so. This is almost like a therapy session for all of us because we done been through it tonight. Shonda plays too much, but tonight was brilliant. And we only get an hour for the season or for the series finale. I don't know how we're going to make it. So, let's get to it. Now, first and foremost, actually, I'm going to come back. I'm going to bring y'all in one at a time. So everybody, just give me a second. Because it's too much. We can't all be on the screen at one time. All right. So welcome. Our co-host, Roderic Montrece. Hey, boo. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Are you okay?
You know,
because you just saw we've had an hour to get our popcorn and get our wine and decompress. You just got finished watching that. So are you okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm good. I got some words. I definitely have some words. So,
okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, right. So if you missed last week's show on Saturday night, I had an opportunity to obviously introduce Roderic as a co-host. Now, we go all the way back to law school. And as I said before, and I say now, and I'll say forever and ever, wouldn't have made it out of law school without him. The beautiful part of when we talk about the show, we look at it from the lens of lawyers, but then we look at it from the lens of the experiences that we had when we were in law school ourselves. So welcome, my darling. How are you? How are you feeling? Can you hear me?
Yep. Okay, I got you now. Okay, so
okay.
Sorry.
How are you feeling?
I got some words. Like I first of all, you had me nervous because when I texted you before I started watching, you were screaming, so I was already on 10 before like the first few minutes started, and then I started watching, and I just got. I went from salty to mad to saltier. Like my. I mean, this was not good for my pressure at all. This was not good for my pressure at all. Yeah. Oliver's still trash, so at least we know that's consistent.
Yes,
and the kids are still trash too. So
yes.
yeah, I mean, yeah, and Laurel, she's just medium. She's not hot garbage. She's just lukewarm trash because she did, so, but we'll get to that too. So yeah, let's get into it because I just, and Bonnie, and we'll say Bonnie too, because Bonnie's gonna get she's gonna get some laying out too, because, and okay, I'll just keep that, we'll say when I say my Bonnie Reed.
Bonnie, I think Bonnie's gonna surprise us, but we're gonna get into all of that. I think she's gonna surprise us. I think she's gonna surprise us for real. So, all right, first guest. And I'm asking you all the same questions that I'm asking the viewers. Our first guest is LaPorsha Lowry. She joined us last week. Hey, girl. Hey, how are you? Right.
1 second, please. Thank you.
She got them.
Okay. I think I'm ready. Okay.
Okay. First of all, how are you, my dear?
If only I knew.
What you drinking?
I have some peach wine and some sweet and salty popcorn, and it's a hot mess. And I'm here to talk about it.
Okay, and we're gonna do that. And so, sweet and salty?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you just trying to get diabetes out of all of this too. Okay.
No, not that, but
I got you. All right. But you're okay.
This episode was a little bit more salty than sweet, but we'll talk about it.
Okay. Our next guest is, now she's new to the show. I'm gonna bring Lucy in last, but our next guest is new to the show. And I thought, and I know that her perspective is incredibly interesting because she has been binge watching, y'all.
Oh,
so she's gonna remember stuff that most of us probably aren't going to remember or didn't remember from previous seasons, but she's probably also the most traumatized. So we're going to have to walk her through it because it's probably a lot too. But I want to welcome Verbena McElwain to the show. She is also my fantastic, fabulous hairstylist. And I love the lens that she looks at when we're like talking about what's going on, Annalise, why the lace fronts are doing what they do. So we have a whole new perspective. Welcome, Verbena, to the show. Hey, girl, are you okay, sis?
I'm speechless. I'm tired. I am just drained, and peach Moscato.
Okay. Popcorn?
Come on, peach. Yes, God.
I made Rice Krispie treats just for the episode.
That's the same flavor I'm sipping on.
Okay. And our last guest, Miss Lucy Frierson. Welcome her to the show. Now, she joined us last week. What you sipping on, sis? What you sipping on?
Little margarita.
Oh, she got fancy, y'all. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
It's Cinco de Mayo week.
Right. Okay, y'all. So let's get to it. Show opens up. And Rod, I'm gonna start with you.
Okay.
What did you think when you saw what was going on with Annalise when she was kind of talking herself through in trial prep? Because that really, really spoke to me as a trial lawyer, and some of the same things that she was doing in terms of evaluating what to wear and all of that. I could relate to that. But what were you thinking when you were seeing that part, the opening part of the show?
Okay, so I'm going to give it to you from two different perspectives. The recovering attorney perspective and then the TV writer, producer, actor perspective. As an attorney, that totally was on spot. Like you're psyching yourself up, you're talking yourself through it. I thought that was like really realistic. But as a general rule, and this is the other filmmaker side, anytime a show or a movie starts over with a voiceover, and that's where the character is talking, like you don't see them, my expectations go really down because that means they're trying to convey some information that they're not going to do on screen. So as soon as I started hearing the voiceover, I was like, I don't know what this is going to give. So immediately my expectations kind of started to dip for the episode because anytime you have a voiceover, that means that they're trying to make up for a narrative defect. So that is immediately my expectations went straight down. As soon as like the voiceover started, and every time the voiceover appeared, I was like, Because they haven't really used that in the show that much. So I was wondering, I guess if you only got 2 shows left, why not use it? But it didn't really, in my opinion, add anything to the arc of the episode. They never gave us any new information that was pertinent to what the show was going. It was just it's a useless device, and it's not always useless because there are lots of films like Forrest Gump, for example, and Forrest Gump uses a lot of great voiceover. This was a Forrest Gump, so I don't know what they were going for that, but my expectations kind of dipped when I first heard the voiceover.
Ladies, what did you all think?
I want to make sure I'm on the right episode. What was the title of this last episode?
Did you watch it live or wait? Did you watch the one that just came on, or did you watch the one with Sam when they were talking about Sam? Or you just watched so many, your head's just about to explode?
I just watched the one with Sam.
Oh,
about
sis.
Sam. See, I might be behind.
Oh.
You behind the episode.
I'm behind. See, that's what's wrong because this episode I was like, it's kind of boring. I was feeling a little bored. And I got tired of looking at Sam's little crooked nose and his thin lips. I was like, this whole episode gonna be about Sam?
Yeah.
And his choice of black women. I had to get all of that tonight. So I guess I gotta catch up because I'm on Hulu.
Okay. Yeah, so Hulu, you have to wait until 4 a.m. Eastern time for the next episode to air. FYI, by the way, for your viewers and for your audience, the child in the Sam flashback episodes is actually his real child, by the way.
What?
Wait a minute, you can't be just dropping that grenade. Say that again.
Really in real life.
The flashback Gabriel that's used in the flashback episodes, the little Gabriel. That's his real child in real life.
That's whose real child?
The actor who plays Sam.
He's swirly in real life, yeah.
Oh, okay. So he loves the black women for real. Okay.
In acting, we call that playing that really close.
Right. So if you're just joining us, everyone, we are talking about How to Get Away with Murder. We are talking about the final episodes. Hello to Nia from New Jersey. We see you, sis. Hey, and listen, if you haven't done so already, make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe at all things social media at The Convo Pod Show, specifically the YouTube channel, our IG page, and our Facebook page. So listen, this recap it pretty much ends up, well, Verbena, spoiler, you sure you good?
I need it. I need this.
You fully committed?
I need this. Bring it. Don't hold anything back.
All right, so to everyone that's watching and to all of you guys, what was the most shocking moment tonight for you?
So I'll say in the beginning, like, I know we were talking about that initially, like when she was trying to figure out what she was going to wear to trial. And I'm not a lawyer, but I think about when you're getting ready for something big, right? At work, a presentation, you're kind of like, oh, should I wear this? Or should I do my hair like this? Or what kind of lipstick? I think we as women go through all of that when we're getting ready for a presentation or just anything big. So I thought that was very relatable in the very beginning of the show. But I think the most shocking moment was the last. I don't know. I'm going to tell you what the most shocking moment was when Laura got up on that stand.
Because we all wanted to whoop her ass. And then it was like, wait a minute.
No, because I was going to say at the very end, but we knew something was going to happen. But when Laura just in the middle of the show, almost like when she just said, okay, this is what happened. No, she didn't make me do this. No, she didn't do that. I'm trying not to spoil it for.
No, come on. I'm good. I'm good. Trust me. Come on.
Okay, I was just gonna mention that when she said that she was sleeping with Wes, and Annalise was not sleeping with him. Her baby's from Wes, but she just let it all out. That was the most shocking moment for me tonight.
Listen, y'all, okay. I screamed so many times tonight with no man in the house. It was crazy. Okay, I was like, I know my neighbor's like, what is going on over there? So. LaPorsha, what was the most shocking moment for you? I got 3. I don't have one, but I got 3.
I feel like the ending was not a shock to me because I kind of saw that coming because she kept coming back and forth adding stuff to that deal between her and Annalise. Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of didn't shock me. But I think, I don't know, Michaela got up there just straight fiction. That was some Pulitzer Prize winning fiction. She was like, that was just some
that's my girl
fiction that she came up with. And
lies. Don't be nice. That hoe was lying. Fiction. I'm sorry. That hoe was lying.
Lies. When I text you, Yolanda, I said she had liability. Like, yeah. I had
not liabilities.
Tawanda was like, she has liabilities. She has a disease called So I don't know if anything shocked me. It was just seeing it play out was just kind of, yeah. But the ending was like, dang, I thought that was going to help her. But I figured, I don't know. I don't know. I go back and forth. It's all kinds of emotion. I'm trying to think what else was shocking. Laurel finally telling the truth, but I don't know. It's a lot. I don't know.
Well, when did her fine daddy reappear? Where did he come from with his fine self? I thought she was adopted and all of it.
Oh, you gotta catch up.
That was me.
Okay, sis, you back more than just one episode. Yeah,
you way behind.
You way behind. Okay. You way behind. Okay, yeah.
Way.
Yeah, you way far in the distance. Way far in the distance. Okay, so. So I think the thing that struck me, this wasn't really shocking, but like I said, I think it was more personal for me when she was in the mirror and trying to decide what to wear and perception and all that, because that is so raw and so real, just like you said, Lucy, because you're judged so much by your appearance, how you speak, how you walk, all of those things. And I remember until I got more comfortable and I just didn't give a damn anymore, but as far as preparing for trial, like, is it the blue suit? Is it the black suit? Make sure do I wear pearls, or be careful with the jewelry, or don't wear anything too flashy, because the jurors really do watch everything that you do. And I think the one time I really realized that is the first time I really just didn't care so much about color or accessories or all that. And I just wore what I wanted to wear. And the first time I wore a red suit to do anything in court was for a closing. And I didn't have on jewelry that was too over the top, but it was interesting. And so after that, after the verdict, not guilty. After the verdict, the jurors come, we're talking to the jurors, and it was so crazy. Like, everybody's kind of shooting the breeze and, blah, blah, blah. And little things like a couple of male jurors are like, yeah, we were talking about your jewelry, or we saw you leave the courthouse in that cute little car, or we saw this, and hey, those shoes you had on were really cute. I was just like, what in the world? And it was so surreal, because that they watch that, but they also, you don't know how much they pay attention. And especially like even the little nuances of how you interact with your client. Do you sit far away from your client? Do you communicate with them? Do you look like you're afraid of them? Do you look like you're treating them like a human being? Because that matters. But I think strategically, I don't know if Annalise saw that coming with Tegan, but I think it was brilliant on her part to represent herself. I mean, I love Tegan, but I know you shaking your head, but I think that's a brilliant move. I mean, she couldn't break Michaela, but I think in that situation, I don't think Tegan could have done the job that Annalise has done, at least strategically. Now, that shit may all blow up next week. We don't know. I don't know, but I think she didn't have a choice. I don't think she had a choice.
Well, here's my problem with, and this goes back to the initial voiceover, right? So we've now spent 6 seasons watching Annalise just wreck it in the courtroom, from killer cross-examinations, killer opening statements. So we have this big build-up, what I'm going to wear, you got this, whatever, red lipstick, natural hair. And the fact is that I understand that, yes, in a narrative arc, we knew it was going to come down to Annalise were defending herself in this trial. I don't think it was a good strategic move. I think the problem is that Annalise is too close to the facts and the fact of every time it comes to a point of her saving herself or saving the children, she chooses to let the kids ride. Like she could have destroyed Michaela on the stand. She didn't. She didn't destroy the Connor on the stand. Like it was like she was pulling her punches. This bullshit with Hannah and the contract. I was like, what? So you're gonna spend six seasons talking about cursing this woman out, saying you didn't kill her husband, and now you're gonna do it because you just tired? Be tired after you either be tired in jail or be tired when you free. This ain't no time for you to be tired. So I just was a little. It's a characterization, you know, and it's this whole kind of like, oh, we so tired. I done fought my last fight and I done ran over my last mountain, Lord. I'm like, bringing your mama sister to do the we so tired slave narrative and get some good defense. And that was not it. I was substantially disappointed in what would have been a day one of trial. I'd have been like, you're crazy. So, yeah, I don't think, I mean, Tegan, she still could have done the cross. You still need another set of eyes. You still need another set of eyes, and I would not have sacrificed another set of eyes just because of this voodoo, some trap. Like, how many traps have we seen her been set in the season, in the series, that she's gotten out of? But now you're not even the U.S. District Attorney for the state of Pennsylvania. This is the AUSA. I just was very disappointed because we've seen better courtroom tactics from Annalise, and it just felt like it was game one of any maybe they're setting it up like a series, like in basketball or baseball, where like your favorite team loses the first series, and you're like, okay, it's gonna be day two, it's gonna be like game two when they like sweep or something. I hope this is what they're setting up, but we only got one more episode, so. Right. So we ain't gonna have no game three. So it's like Annalise 0, them 1. So I have a theory at the end, and I will give you my theory at the end. Just you're gonna remind me of how I think this show's gonna end. And I think this is what I've seen so far. They may be setting it up for how I think the show's gonna end. So anyway, so that's just that.
I think you might be thinking like me, the way you're talking right now. I think you might be thinking what I think is gonna happen.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think the fact that she knew that these kids were going to testify against her, not going to be, and she thought that she could break them.
Business. I would have told everything.
But what I'm saying is that how I don't think based on the nature of the charges, based on the fact that they're ultimately basically calling her a mob boss in a nice way of saying it, I don't think someone else could really tell that story, Tegan or whomever, through Cross, the way that that the jury can make their own justification or their own feelings based on what they see with Annalise, because they're emotionally driven. And I think especially with Tegan in the back and Bonnie in the back watching the jurors to be able to gauge who's with them and who's not. I just think that from that perspective is very different. But I do agree that Annalise is too emotionally attached and she needed someone else there beside her. But I don't know about necessarily somebody taking it in on the first, some necessarily representing her. One thing she did say that I thought was incredibly powerful in the voiceover part, she was saying that power or people in power would do anything to keep it. And it felt like it was a nod or a slight to what's going on now that we see politically. And I loved how she said that, how people have an issue with Black women speaking truth to power, which I mean, I was like, I had to write that down because it was just like, because that's been the whole premise of this whole show in terms of her, how people have judged her or how, the mistakes that she's made or her compassion and all of that in terms of speaking truth to power. Okay, let's get to the biggest bitch in this whole show, Michaela, ho. Like, what in the world? I mean, they played a whole tape. It's her. And you look right at Gabriel, knowing that you pushed his daddy off the.
But this is
she's like I forgot that boxer who's had this song. Y'all must have forgot. I was just thinking like she must have just like forgot that who Annalise is. Like she's one of them people this whole series that she's just like, she knows who Annalise is, she knows what Annalise can do, but then it's always like she always running her mouth or talking crazy. Like she forgot. Like I just think that she forgot. She got behind her daddy or whoever that is to her. And she just feeling herself thinking that she gonna,
But see, Michaela has always been selfish, in my opinion.
Agreed.
She always tries to use the fact that she was adopted and her mom was an alcoholic. She didn't know her dad. And she uses that for her own personal gain, whether it's sleeping with somebody, sleeping with one of the guys in the group, just anything. And I mean, she manipulated Connor into thinking that she took the same deal with him when knowing that she didn't. And I thought they were going to be on one accord. Nobody could have told me that she didn't, but I knew something was strange because I'm like, how her daddy let her sign that deal? How did her daddy let that go down? Because something's going to come up. Her daddy this is too thin. Like her daddy can't just come in, pop in, be this big time lawyer with all this money, save her, call the feds on Annalise, and then he just sits quietly in the room.
Okay, so the daddy I'm calling Blackety Poppins because that's pretty much what he's doing.
I'm leaving.
So that literally he is in here like Blackety Poppins, just making wishes come true, standing behind you while you get dressed. That's the name is Blackety Poppins. Because
he is going to be so popular at the end. Something's going to happen next week. I just don't know what it is.
But as it relates to him? You think something's going to happen as it relates to him?
As it relates
not in a bad way. I just think something's going to come out. I don't know what it is. It's a secret that we don't know about.
See, the thing
I know what it is, but whatever.
See, I think the thing with Michaela, on the positive, at least they've kept her characterization consistent. Like the fact that she's always been, craving for a father figure, craving for Annalise's approval, always getting slick in the mouth with Annalise. Like she's that, the Michaela character has been very
consistent.
Very consistent. And I think that's the plus side of it. I think the problem is, and this is where I have a problem with this whole turn with the immunity deal. Now and not to bring in too much Bible in this, but if Annalise has always been consistent and has always brought you this far, why would you doubt she could bring you all the way home? So therefore, the decision to go with the immunity deal is out of the collective characteristic, because if they were so motherfucking smart, they wouldn't have gotten this mess to begin with. So what would make you think that you could just go on some deal with the FBI and you could turn over Annalise? Like, that's kind of like my problem. Like, which admittedly is a human characteristic, because we all can testify to people who have been in our presence and still act like they don't know us. So, so we can all testify to that. But at the end of the day, it just seems like we done went through 6 seasons, all these bodies, and now you're going to have a problem? You might as well just ride on and just still Thelma and Louise with me off the cliff after 6 seasons. So that's the problem I'm having with this immunity deal. So I have a little bit of hope, this much hope, that this has all been some kind of fugazi-ish, but I ain't putting that much.
I happen to think that there is a reason why Annalise has put up with so much mouth and stuff from Michaela. There's got to be a reason.
I already told you what it was last week.
That's what I'm saying. I agree with you, because I feel like all of this stuff, just like, because one thing that she said, I think it was tonight after it was revealed about Frank, she was like, that's the only reason that, why else would he keep him around after he killed my son? That was kind of a little light bulb to me. And I was like, well, you keeping folk around because they done did worse. They done did just about as bad as stuff to you. You keeping folk around. So what's the connection there? Because I was like, the main person who has always been, let's go tell the police, let's turn ourselves in, has been certain people who have been kept around seemingly for no reason. But it is a reason.
Facts. Because Wes was a chairperson of that squad. Wes was the head cheerleader of the we gonna tell. Wes was the number one here. And then with the backup cheerleader being Connor. So we already know them were the head cheerleaders of the we gonna tell committee. So yeah.
But Rod, I think you owe Nate an apology. All that trash. You talked about Nate. Nate ain't with the plan. Nate can't do it. His plans are trash. He's trash. I'm sorry. This whole thing was Xavier and then going to Jorge with the story. And like he says, how do I know it's not you? And it's like, yes, it is. Like you murdered his son and you're like getting ready to get him to blow the whole governor out the window. Like,
now Yolanda, I think that was a plan to get me a 6-piece nugget from McDonald's that was next door.
Wait for it.
So slow ass Nate is gonna be the hero that outsmarted everybody on the
You will owe Nate an apology. Watch what I say.
That's a biblical face right there. Because I would not put. What'd you say?
I was saying I like the fact that Nate is doing. He's kind of like a sneak attack right now. I don't really care for Nate. I made that clear last week, okay? But what Nate is doing now, he's gonna come and try to save the day, right?
Hannah
is murdered.
Know
who else are they gonna get?
There's only one Captain Save a Hoe on the show, and that's Annalise.
Go ahead and finish, Lucy. Rod don't want it. Rod does not want to.
Maybe that's the collective.
Rod.
Hannah has been murdered or committed suicide. We don't know. So from there, Annalise, Tegan, and Bonnie are like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And then here comes Nate. Mr. Castillo is going to testify against the governor, which is going to let them think, well, no, it's going to prove the conspiracy thing that they have against Annalise, right? And she's going to be set free.
No, she already signed the confession that she would confess that she signed that she killed Sam. The lawyer
doesn't matter. Yeah, but Hannah, Hannah, and Hannah never signed it, so that means nothing.
Annalise signed it, so
it doesn't matter. It's not an agreement. It's not an NDA unless both parties, everybody agrees to it. And because that's why the governor was. I mean, that's why his attorney was taking it to her for her to sign, and that's when he found her dead.
It's an admission.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's an admission.
No, it's not.
They can introduce that in the court.
No,
that's an admission. She signed. Why? The other party.
It's not an executed agreement. It's not an executed agreement.
Even if it doesn't matter if it's executed agreement, it's still an admission against her own interests. They can be
I just knew for some reason I was like, she keep coming up with other stuff to add to this thing. I was like, she ain't gonna sign that, whether it was for the reason we know or the reason where she was trying to set something up other. But I was like, that like she keep every time they say, okay, she gonna sign it, and then here go something else I'm add to. Like she wasn't never gonna sign that thing.
They're gonna try to admit that NDA as the mission of her guilt.
They're gonna try. Okay.
But then she can go with the fact that Michaela testified that on the stand that they killed Sam.
But she has already admitted she's already signed an agreement that whether it's executed in counterparts or not, that she killed Sam. So all they have to do is put her on the stand and ask her, is this not your signature?
It's only contingent based on the result of the trial. Because the whole point was Hannah testifies to get Annalise off. Once Annalise is off, then she has to admit it because then they can't prosecute her because of double jeopardy. Only the way that the agreement can be fully realized if those things happen. They can't use that.
But they can still bring the agreement in as evidence of a confession.
They can try.
Right. So yeah, like, I mean, yeah, they can try, but because we're not.
It's a statement that has to be made once these terms are done and completed, and that has not happened and will not happen because Hannah's dead. Why do you think it's either going to be? And let's get to the big issue: who killed Hannah? It ain't Frank. First of all, it ain't suicide. Let's just put that clear, because she has no reason to kill herself because she's looking. She's gonna get everything that she needs. I don't think it's Frank, because I just don't think. The timing doesn't make sense. It's either I think Lucy, you and I were talking about it. I think it was either Tegan or it was Bonnie. Y'all be sleeping on Bonnie. Bonnie got 2 bodies on her. You don't think she would go on over there all sweet and kind and shoot that lady in the head and make it look like it was a suicide?
That is true. I would have to admit, Bonnie does have that sleeper samurai Kill Bill in her. So I'm
gonna have to drink to that.
So Bonnie got enough bodies that if it came between that, now here's the other thing, Yolanda, because I do remember Bonnie saying, I went over to take the contract for the lawyer to sign, so they may not even have the agreement. So I will put a pin in my statement that if Bonnie took the agreement over there and Hannah was already dead, then Bonnie just could have been like,
well, never mind.
Never mind.
They're like, oh wait, okay.
Right.
Let me put this in my purse.
Right. I'm not gonna die on that agreement and admit it as evidence of an admission here. I'm not gonna die on that. But let me just circle right back around so I get my full testimony in on Frank. And I'm just bothered because as a personal issue to me, I can't stand incompetent ass motherfuckers. And Nate is the captain of incompetence because because you done formulated this whole plan and you ain't told nobody. But there's nothing in your record that shows that you're good at planning. So why would I trust my life with Frank?
Mm-hmm. Hence why his daddy is dead. Hence why his daddy is dead.
Right.
But I don't think that Frank.
Here's why his daddy is dead.
I don't think that Frank killed Hannah either, because Frank, at the end of the day, is a softie, and I feel like he would want to, in some way, confront her about being his mother, but I don't think that he would have killed her because, Frank he have a soft spot for Laurel and the baby. He have a soft spot for Bonnie. He have a soft spot for Annalise. I don't even, outside of Sam, I don't even see him, having a soft spot for any other guys, but I don't know. I just don't see him killing if he found out that he might have asked her or something, but I don't see that. And I think that's going to be another monkey wrench on who killed her, because I think it's going to be somebody we're not thinking about or that's not in the forefront of it.
Tegan killed.
It was Wes. My money. If I
oh my God!
If I had some praying time and I had to waste some prayers, which I'm not on this show, but because I need all my prayer time, it would be that Wes has been followed. If Wes is alive, I think if Wes killed Hannah, is going to show up at the end and was like, you know what?
I'm convinced that he's not dead.
If he's not dead, I think it was Wes.
I think that he's been in protective custody, witness protection, whatever you want to call it, the whole time with Laurel and the baby. That's just what I think right now in my soul right now, because Laurel is real. She likes to omit stuff. She'll tell you something, but she'll tell you where she was at. Oh, I was in Brooklyn, but with who? Oh, I was with Christopher. And who else? She lied by omission.
She is the mistress of shiftiness. Like, oh, I just disappeared, but I didn't tell you. Laura got shifty, shady ways, which is why she should have got cursed the F out.
Where you gonna use F now? You've been cussing since the last episode.
So I would have laid her out so bad they would have had a reset. True story. I had a client lie to me right before a trial, and it was a bold lie. the judge had to do a recess because I turned and laid him the fuck out when the FBI presented new evidence that I did not get, and you could have told me this 6 months later. So they would have to shut it down because I would have snatched Laurel up real quickly with the fuck you been. You gonna show up now? Whack-a-weasel, whack-a-mole's gonna pop up now? Like Laurel.
And this is why you're a recovering attorney.
This is why.
But what Elise was saying about Frank, that's why I deem Frank to be my favorite character on the show. Because he really is. He is a ride or die. He gonna do what he has to do. And I just like Frank. So it is believed that Hannah and Sam, sisters and brothers, is Frank's parents. Those are his parents, right?
Right.
Both of them did.
Both of them.
Okay. Because now if sisters and brothers had a baby, that boy's supposed to be retarded. He is smart as hell. Okay. Yes. So that is not realistic. That is not realistic. It's not realistic. That's all I'm saying.
Actually, in the Caucasian community.
I'm not gonna leave you out there on the ledge because I thought the same thing too. But
why is he? That's true because he should really be like.
The chromosomes are a little off, so he should be a little off.
But in the Caucasian community, they don't.
He's a little off in other ways. Like he's a little off with his
emotionally.
Shoot first, ask questions later type of stuff.
Okay.
I think that is fictional TV land.
Mm-hmm.
Type of stuff. But I do think, Frank is a little thrown off. Let's just be real about it. He's a little thrown off, but I think that might be the equivalent of, why he is so shoot first, ask questions later. Like, I feel like let's just talk about all the people. I feel like he did the Lila thing without asking Sam any questions. I feel like he
couldn't. He couldn't ask no questions.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So he it's almost like, you want me to kill somebody? Okay, let me go do it.
He goes into protective mode. He's been doing
that since 13, though. You remember an episode in season 3, that's when we found out about Frank because he was arrested for attempting to kill who he thought was his father at age 13. So he'd been tripping for a while. I'm gonna pause y'all there for a second because we got a question from Tania, and Tania, I hope I'm saying your name right. And by the way, she agrees with me, Rod, that a confession, player, that's not going to happen. All right. So her question is, where is Laurel's mother? So we talked about this last week. Did she really get her scalp snatched or is she somewhere else? Because nobody did DNA. Who is Michaela's mom? Which we don't know. And do we know what happened to Bonnie's baby? Because you remember Frank. That's a good question because I don't remember. Verbena, you probably know this because you don't binge watch everything. So what happened to Bonnie's baby?
What happened to Bonnie's baby?
Oh, you know what?
Oh, the last time I saw Bonnie's baby is when she got abducted in the streets of New York, and her baby was with her when she called the crew.
That's because
her baby.
That's Laurel.
Oh, Bonnie.
Oh, girl.
Oh, Bonnie Winterbottom, whatever her name is. Where they come up with that name? Winterbottom.
Okay, focus, sis. Answer the question.
Okay. What happened to Bonnie's baby, honey? I don't know what happened to Bonnie's baby. I don't know.
Didn't her sister have the baby?
Bonnie's baby might be married to Oliver at this point.
Okay.
How old is Bonnie's baby right now?
At this point, I told y'all anything is possible.
But how old is Bonnie's baby right now?
We know who Bonnie's baby is. It's somebody. We don't know who it is.
About how old is the baby though?
I don't know.
Gabriel's age. It's their age. The baby is the age of all of Michaela and all of them. Because I initially thought that Gabriel was Bonnie's baby.
Oh, that's right.
He first was introduced on the show. So the baby is about the same age as all of them. So that's who I thought Gabriel was, and then it was like, oh, it's really Sam and whatever. So we don't know who Bonnie's baby is. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe that's who killed Hannah. Sandrine is dead.
You don't really think that was Sandrine's scalp in the box?
No.
I do because I had a dream about it. It was her scalp.
That's right.
It was her scalp. It was her scalp.
Yeah, I do.
What you think? So who do y'all think Michaela's mom is, or is that just gonna be an
Annalise.
unanswered question?
Yeah.
Annalise.
I really think Annalise is her mama.
So do y'all?
I thought we agreed last week.
I
That
think
I didn't.
is that her and the daddy had an affair. Because
But listen.
that makes the most sense to me.
So do y'all think Annalise has had a baby? She is actually birthed a child?
She has already. She's birthed one. The question is whether or not she's birthed two. Because the other baby died,
in the accident.
She birthed it.
Yeah.
So, in the accident. So the baby was delivered stillborn. So they had to induce labor because remember they had induced labor after the accident and the baby was born stillborn. So the question is whether or not she had another baby before that baby.
Okay. Right. Okay.
So the question is whether or not. So at first we thought maybe that was Wes. Okay, the ages don't add up. So it wasn't Wes. So they were like, who else could it be? Y'all think it's Michaela?
No, it's not Michaela.
I feel like it is because, like I said earlier, just like with Frank, there's a reason why the screw up is still around. And I don't know if it was before. I don't know if it was before she got with Sam. I don't know the timeline, but that makes the most sense because I'm just sitting here like we still don't know fully why Connor was selected for the thing. We still don't. We know why Asher was. We know why West was. We know what all the other ones. We kind of have an idea of why they were selected by Annalise to work with her. Mm-hmm. But the only one that's left that I have no idea of that is Connor. And I think that he asked tonight. He asked again. He was like,
"So that's why you picked me?" Because he thought it was because he lied. Yeah.
So I'm just like, I don't know. That's still a loophole that has to be closed about why Connor is in this whole situation in the first place. Because I still don't understand how, like, and the whole thing about him lying about a thing, whatever. I think that was just that's just something to throw us off. Because I still don't understand why he was picked. Like we know why all the other ones, but I don't know.
Well, Tania had also commented. Hold on a second. Tania had said that Bonnie's sister took him from the hospital after he was born, and he's the same age as all the kids. So
Connor,
if it's Connor, I'm just gonna levitate out into the atmosphere.
Come on now.
Nah. It closes the loophole. Who else could be his mama? Unless he is the governor's son. I don't know. I don't know.
That's pushing LaPorsha.
But I'm just saying, like, that's the only way to close that loophole of why Connor is even in the thing in the first place.
Ooh, what if it was Asher and like Asher's parents had adopted him? Ew.
Yeah, well, that would be on theme.
I feel like Bonnie would know that's her child, though. Something would kick in to where I don't think that, but she was
a nervous wreck back then.
Well, y'all keep sleeping on her, and I think Lucy, you the one that called her weak. Ain't nothing weak about Bonnie. Y'all think she weak. She got them bodies on her, and she will just slide up and whack a person and be like, okay, they dead, and be like, and just give them white girl innocence. Oh my God. That scared, sad face, and be like, I don't know. Oh my God. I can't. Yeah. Because somebody's trying to. Hannah was killed to protect Annalise, period. Now, who killed her? I just don't think Frank would have had that much of an emotional response because Hannah, what she not going to do, she not going to come out her mouth foul because she want her coin. So it ain't like she would have said something to Frank to like set him all the way off. I think it's Tegan. And the one thing that Annalise said very early when she signed that agreement, she said Annalise Keeling is dead. What kind of how much more foreshadowing do we need than that? Like,
make her own.
So, and ain't nobody seen her in the casket. It was a closed casket. Annalise ain't dead.
Thank you. Where is
she ain't dead? Ain't nobody. I want DNA results that have been double blind confirmed. And
on that plane, Yolanda. She getting back on the plane to go back to wherever she get the place, probably the place where Olivia Pope got sent that time. Did I?
Real quick, guys.
That's
Real quick, let's think about.
Get her groceries brought to her, get her mail brought to her, and just be good. I feel like that's where, and her and Tegan gonna be in a little bit.
Let's think about the episode when she was in Mexico, right? And remember how she had so many questions about like why she didn't go with the young lady who was trying to get her to get in the car. Like, who was driving that car? What was making her so apprehensive about getting in that car? And I have a feeling, based on what we think is going to happen in terms of her trying to escape again, is she going to try to go back to the same place? I mean, I just don't know. I'm just trying to figure out like why she didn't get in that car.
At that point, she just couldn't trust anything or anybody. She was paranoid.
But she knew they were coming.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rob.
And I think she allowed herself to get caught for a reason. I don't think that was her slipping up. Because I think once that girl said, I think they know where they know we're here, and she refused to get in the car, I think she intended to get caught.
She knew something was up.
And there was no sense in her to keep running. I think she intended I think she intended to get caught. I don't know why, but I think she intended, because you remember how surprised she was when they only charged her with like the false passport or something like that,
right.
and she was expecting. Why would she force them? Why would she push the issue of making the government show their hand? Because they could have just kept her in limbo forever until they decided to indict, but she forced their hand to make them show what they knew. I think when she got wind of that, she came back knowing that they were gonna come for her, and when they didn't, she was like, nah. And nobody's gonna fight that hard to say, hey, what you got, what you finna do, what you want, what
like somebody else said
I just got it.
Say what now?
I said I just got it. Okay, because remember, it must have been probably 3 episodes for when Verbena watched the final exam question, Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, right?
Ooh. Oh,
yeah.
So remember, Asher answered the question: how do you get Snow White off? It's because the evil queen faked her death and blamed it on Snow White. So originally, I was thinking maybe that's kind of what Annalise is going to do with this whole funeral and whatever, and she's faking her death to get it off. But what if? But look at the way the narrative of the trial has been. The trial narrative has not really been that Annalise is the wicked queen. It's Wes. Wes is the one who is the one who kills Sam. Wes is the one they're saying did everything. So what if? Now this is if Wes really isn't dead. She came back because it was part of the plan. She knew she could get herself off, and therefore, if Wes, once she gets off for the murder, Wes is off too, because then the trial's done.
Yeah, because what I had said was,
look at Verbina's face.
What is going on?
I said that would be the easiest thing if Wes is supposedly dead. How about we just say he did everything, and then we can get Annalise off? Because if he's dead, then we can say he killed Sam. We can say he killed Sam, Rebecca, or everybody else who's dead. That would be my plan if he's really dead, to say, "Oh well, Wes did everything." You can't convict him because he's dead. But that's why I'm thinking that he's not, because I think once Annalise is away, or dead, away, whatever the end result is, that's when he can pop back up, because they're not gonna reopen. Because if they get Annalise like to say that she's guilty, they're not gonna reopen that case and
they can't.
It's gonna be done. They're not gonna do nothing else with it. So then, if she goes away, or she's dead, or disappeared, or whatever, and then he pops back up, then it's like, oh, well, maybe she didn't do it, or maybe it's like, I don't know if it's double jeopardy, or I don't know if it's something that where he wouldn't be able to be the one who, even if they said in court that he did all the stuff, because I don't know. Y'all have to tell me the legal ramifications of it, but
Tania brought up a good point, and I forgot about this. That you remember Wes's body disappeared from the morgue. So do we know that was really his body, or if it was like a death?
I don't think it was, because when I saw, because I looked back at that episode too, and I was like, if the FBI had something to do with it, they might have been able to make a false rendering of his body and make it look whatever they needed to. And maybe the lady who did the autopsy was in on it to say, all these different things. It's a conspiracy. Like, everybody is in on it in some way. Like, maybe that was like maybe somehow with the government or whoever it is made a false West body. No, at this point, anything is, like I said, anything is possible. Because I was like, maybe he's not dead, and that was like, because it was just convenient that that's who they pulled out of there.
But why was he halfway burnt? Why was he looking like Two-Face? He only had like a little bit of crispy. He wasn't all the way crispy. Yeah, he ain't dead.
So that was my theory last week. I said that last week because Tania says his grandma Mahoney, which would be his stepmother Mahoney. I think that
I thought the Mahoney son was his father.
It was the father. The original trial, was it the son or was it the father? Which one?
The one. Remember? Okay, with Wes's mama. The son was the one that was molesting or whatever Wes's mama. Everybody.
No, but who was the original trial for? Because the twist was, I think the trial was against the son, and the twist was it really was the father. Right. So so they were brothers. Wes and the son were brothers because the trial was originally the original defendant in the case. The analyst was brought to go on was to represent the son.
That's right.
She figured out it was really the father who had raped Wes's mother. So
I don't remember that, but okay.
Yeah. So then that's what happened. So my thing is that they're the only. That's the other ace in the card because again, they're the only other characters on the show who have as much money and power as the Castillos to pull off a Wes fake deathery type of thing. So I think So either
way, if it was the son or the daddy, it was jacked up, and Wes had a closed casket funeral, and he ain't dead because he shouldn't have been crispy on just one side of his face. He should have been all the way crispy. So there's that.
It was the son and not the father. So okay. So I
missed that. I don't think I remember that, but that makes sense because I thought that
well, if anybody can tell us, Verbena, you saw them episodes recently.
Yeah,
I thought that the son was on trial for something else. I thought he was on trial for murdering his wife or something.
Right, but they later figured out that it was the father who was Wes's father,
and then he got killed.
All the daddies and all the children, all the daddies, all the children, everybody, just be with the children because all the children and all the daddies. I don't know.
Yeah, so I just Googled. Thank you, Google. It is Charles Mahoney. Tania was right. So the son really is Wes's father, not the. So it really is Charles Mahoney. So I stand corrected.
No, wait,
we all do.
Wait, that's what I thought that the son was the one that. So because I thought that because we said didn't Frank kill the daddy? The big Mahoney.
Yes.
So and that was because they thought that's who Wes's father was, but it was the son.
Right.
See, I was like, I knew I wasn't tripping because I was like, I thought that was the twist was that
Y'all, Rabina about to have a heart attack. She ain't gonna be. She gonna be up. She gonna be up all night messing with us. She gonna be like, what?
I'm staying at 4 a.m. I'm watching this next episode.
Don't do it.
Yeah, it'll be up.
Yeah, it comes on 5 o'clock our time on Hulu.
Okay, and I'm gonna text you too, Yolanda.
No, you're not, because my ass gonna be in the bed. I'm sleeping good tonight. Y'all done ate. Look, my popcorn almost gone. Shout out to Apothic Red. I'm about halfway through the bottle. Child, I'm sleeping good tonight. Whatever. Don't you call me tonight. You gonna get cussed out. But we were up last night, like, girl, child.
So
Rabina been crying and carrying on.
I mean, seriously, I get so emotional. Like, that's why I can't watch stuff like that. I'm just too much of an empath, and I know it's TV, but then I be like, dang. And then sometimes it's predictive. Sometimes I was able to predict some of the stuff that was happening tonight that I was looking at, so I was able to stay calm.
Bad writing.
So
yeah,
I would say that's all bad writing.
Yolanda, real quick, I'm trying to think of like the loopholes that have to be closed. It's only one episode left.
And an hour. How we only got an hour?
It's so many loopholes because the governor still has not shown up. He got to either go down for this, be killed, or something. She hadn't been on here this whole season. So I'm trying to figure out if they still trying to prove a conspiracy from the governor gonna have to show up. Then I'm thinking like just all the loopholes. Like, who is Connor really? Because why was he selected? Because we still don't know that from day one. We still don't know that. Like, it's just I'm trying to remember all the loopholes that have to be answered in one final episode. Unless they're gonna do a How to Get Away with Murder movie.
I can't take that. I can't take that.
Because I'm just thinking of the loopholes. Like,
not without some CBD oil and some Valium.
That's what I have to take at night. CBD oil just to go to sleep.
Okay.
But that's a good point. That's what they did with Sex in the City. They had all those episodes and they came out with 3 movies.
They were all raggedy except the one. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, the first one was good.
Like, just like somebody said last week, I think it was Lucy, like, who is Michaela's mama? Because we know if Michaela is fully black.
Wait. Regular black?
No, I'm saying fully black, not like
right.
Or something.
She's not a swirl. She's not a swirl.
She's not mixed or anything. So we got to find that loophole between the relationship between Annalise and then her dad. It's so many loopholes that they're going to have to, it must be some quick, I don't know if they're going to have regular length commercials. I don't know. They got so many loopholes that they're going to have to close in one episode.
We got 43 minutes. That's all. When you watch on Hulu, it's 43 to 45 minutes. That's all we get. We ain't getting 2 hours. We thought we were going to get 2 hours. So it's going to be a mess. And we just going to need an extra bottle or 2. Because it's going to be a mess. Like for real, y'all. Like, I was in here screaming like, what the like the cats took off running. They were like, we don't know what's happening. What's wrong with our mama?
I think just my theory of how the show's going to end, and I think the show's going to end with Annalise losing.
Finally.
That she's going to lose. And it's going to be kind of like this mix, kind of like social justice, kind of moral motif with how do you get away with murder?
You don't.
Blame the wrong person. Because Annalise ain't killed nobody. So the fact is that that's how I think the show's gonna end. I think it's gonna be with Annalise being found guilty.
Who is getting away with murder? That's true.
The kids are gonna get away with murder. They're the ones who got away with murder. You know?
The initial murder of Sam,
Yeah. So if the show is about how to get away with murder, the question is, you always have a fall guy. You always have, there's going to be an institutional racism. There's going to be a conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's going to all tie together with Annalise being found guilty, because again, I mean, the government conspiracy against Annalise with the governor still doesn't affect any of the 11 counts against her, right? And that was my problem with, I guess, this episode today, because she needed to establish the fact that she didn't kill DA. She didn't kill DA Miller. She didn't kill the other Sinclair. She didn't kill Sinclair. She none of that. We didn't see any of that testimony. Excuse me. So I don't understand. Like, she's not knocking out any counts here.
Well, she has to at her motion to dismiss phase. They haven't finished their case in chief. Now, if they do it the way they're supposed to do it, she would file a motion to dismiss on all those people that they don't have any proof that she killed.
Okay.
But because none of them testified that she ordered this or she ordered that as related to those. So
are the charges against her like legit for conspiracy? Because are any of the charges saying that she killed anybody? Because I'm thinking, because like she really didn't, but I think what it is that she was the master. They think she was the mastermind of it. So
right,
is that what the charges are? Because I'm still kind of.
They should have never brought this up in federal court. I'm with you on that, Rod. Like, it's complete BS federal charges. I mean, it should have been in state court, but okay.
Yeah. So remember I did the 11 charges last week and went through the 11 charges. So a lot of them were it's the murder, it's the conspiracy. See, at first when I was waiting for the case, I was like, well, maybe they're gonna do this bogus aiding and abetting thing. But as I said last week, since Yolanda and I both went to law school in Pennsylvania, and we know that Pennsylvania has eliminated aiding and abetting.
Oh, wow.
And so therefore aiding and abetting is eliminated. And so therefore they just use conspiracy because it's the better way to entrap with complicity. So I was like, well, then they're not doing that, but I'm not writing the show. I don't own no stock in ABC. So they're going to do whatever they want to do. So I'm just saying, so they have a lot of water to tread, and I'm just kind of going to get my spirit right by next week to be very dissatisfied, because Scandal was dissatisfying.
Yep.
Game of Thrones was not satisfying. Sopranos was not satisfying. Breaking Bad. No. So I'm already ready in my spirit and my soul just to be like, just to be disappointed, because like you said, they have a lot of loose plot threads to tie up, and they got 43 minutes, and you done wasted a good 10 minutes with Bonnie being the weakest link in the whole crew, telling Frank. Like,
Bonnie done kill everybody. Y'all thought, man. I don't
rather them do that. I'd rather the Castillos come in like Scarface and be like, like if they
it did look like somebody was about to do something at the courthouse. So I don't know. That might be.
If they
that would be a good ending. That would be a good ending.
How about Annalise gets off? Somebody shoots her in the courtyard steps. They think she's dead. And she down there at the little place with the blue light or the yellow light or whatever light it was that old girl was at with old boy on Scandal.
But see, that's very Godfather 3. That's very Godfather 3. Here's my other question, and this is again another missed real estate point, and this is characterization. Now, we in the final season, Annalise is up for murder. She done went to the Supreme Court with Kerry Washington and Scandal. Why has there not been a Kerry Washington Scandal cameo on this whole show?
Because she's busy like wrecking shop and burning down shit on little fires everywhere.
Right.
Terrible. That is a terrible show. That's terrible.
That was awesome. You didn't like little fires everywhere?
It got on my nerves.
Did you watch the whole thing?
No. Your nerves.
Okay, we can't talk to you. You got to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
You ain't watched the whole thing of this. You ain't watched the whole thing of Little Fires Everywhere, Verbena. You can't say nothing for 1 minute.
I'm so not committed.
You have to be quiet for 1 minute. You can't say nothing for 1 minute.
You go to time out the whole night.
I know Verbena didn't like it. Verbena, do you have kids?
I do. I have a daughter.
You don't like it because you like there ain't no way that child would have been talking to me like that. Like you were like, I'm done with enough of the show. This is some unrealistic shit. Ain't no black woman will have her child talking to that.
That's right.
Okay.
Thank you, Rod. Thank you, Rod.
But you still got to stick with it because it pays off. but I understand why you didn't like it. But yeah, I thought when you said you didn't like it and you were done with it, I was like, yeah, you saw Pearl and Ruby in episode 2 and you were done. So okay.
I said all of them need a whooping, and it started with the mamas. The 2 mamas need a whooping first.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So Lucy, how do you think it's gonna end? But we got your prediction, and then Verbena, we're gonna circle around your prediction. We're gonna close it out. Well, how you think it's gonna end, Lucy?
I think Annalise is gonna get off. I mean, she just has to. And I think again, that whole, if you think about the scene from next week, I think something is gonna happen on those steps. Now, whether it's gonna be Annalise or whether it's gonna be somebody else, somebody's gonna get killed next week. And I have a sneaky suspicion that it's gonna be Laura. Because remember, her father's gonna come to court. He's going to testify. And I know he's lost a son, but he's going to get Laura back for betraying the family. That's what I think.
You do not like that Laura, do you, Rod?
No, bye. Yeah, bye.
Interesting.
I'll bring the pound cake to the repast.
Chicken.
LaPorsha and Verbena, what do you think? How do you, LaPorsha, I'll start with you. How do you think the show's going to end?
So somehow they're going to have to close all these loose ends. It's going to be crazy, but like I said, I think that West is alive, but I think that Annalise fakes her own death. Because I just now saw in the thing for next week that the mama shows up for something and it looked like she was crying. So maybe she fakes her death even to her family to really, really get away from it. Because I don't know if the way you get away with murder is to murder yourself. I don't know. I don't know.
Now, Portia, that's realistic now, because I'm telling you, that's what these celebrities in the real world do. They fake it so they can get away.
Anything is possible. So I think that we're gonna tie up loose ends about Connor and Michaela, because they gotta be reckoned with. Because them taking these deals and stuff has got to be dealt with. All the stuff has got to be dealt with in one more episode.
So it's not going to happen in 42 minutes.
Nate has to legit, even though he's done crazy stuff, he has to get revenge for his father. That's got to be something that happens. To me, it's a lot of loose. Frank got to deal with both of his parents. I don't know. I can just make a list of what needs to be dealt with, but I can't tell you what's gonna happen, because that's like being in Shonda Rhimes' head, and she runs like 8 different shows. I can't even begin to start figuring out what she thinking or what she wants.
I think she writes week to week. That's how she operates. But I can see the ending of this show, although I hadn't seen the one that y'all saw tonight. I just feel like somebody is going to end up behind the when it goes off. You're going to see the prison doors slam like that, and I feel like Frank is going to be behind the prison doors.
Oh, you thinking like power, huh?
I think they can blame everything on Frank, and ain't nobody gonna have no remorse about it. And then Bonnie gonna be standing on the courthouse crying.
As she does.
As she does. You're right.
That's just what I can see. Michaela and them telling Connor and them, we can all plan it on Frank. You know, Frank did this, and Laurel, she gonna say it too. We can plan this on Frank. We can plan this on Frank. I think he gonna go down for it.
I think Frank has been through enough.
Leave Frank alone.
I love
his
Frank.
Parents ain't shit.
I love
his
Frank.
Parents ain't shit.
I love Frank. Even when they had that terrible wig on him from the beginning, honey, I love Frank. I do.
Another thing too, another loophole that they have to figure out is like, did Frank know that Sam was his father? I don't think he did.
No, he didn't, because I didn't know. I didn't know, so he didn't know. He didn't know that.
So listen,
Verbena, this is not about you, sis.
I feel like
he didn't know.
He has to come to some sort of realization that that Sam was his father. Was his mother.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna realize that the baby that he had a hand in dying was his brother. He's gonna have to deal with the child that he strangled the mama on the rooftop was his siblings. He's gonna have to deal with all of that too. That's something that still has to be dealt with too. All of that realization, that's really heavy for him. Like
that's why the ending is gonna end with Frank. It ain't gonna even end with Annalise like y'all think it is. It's gonna end up with Frank. Watch.
Well, your mouth to God's ears.
So if Wes is alive, and we saw that he supposedly shows up at the funeral, we're just gonna say it is the funeral for Annalise. Like, what would Wes have to say? Like, I'm just trying to think about that. That's another loose end too, because if he's coming back, everybody thinks he's dead, and he's just showing up like a ghost. And what would he say? Like,
that's a good point.
Like, she was right the whole time. She didn't even do anything. Like, but then everybody thinks that she's dead, so it's kind of like he's gonna come back and say, "Well, y'all killed her for no reason, or y'all convicted her, or whatever happens for no reason, and she's dead for no reason because I'm the one who killed Sam." He's probably gonna come back if he's alive still.
If he's alive, mm-hmm.
Come back and say this whole thing was
my fault.
This whole thing was wrong, and y'all had it wrong from the beginning, and all this stuff leading up. He probably is gonna take up for her if everybody thinks she's dead, and it'd probably be like, oh well, this whole time we thought that she was the mastermind when she was. Everything was to protect him, so he got protect.
Yeah,
that's another loophole that has closed. Like, the whole time she's been protecting Bonnie, Frank, Laurel, all of them, and who protected her? Herself.
Right. So we're gonna stop here because we got a lot of ground to cover next week. So for those of you all tuning in, thank you so much. If you're catching the replay, then definitely leave some comments because we're going to deal with all of this next week. We thought we were getting 2 hours. We're getting an hour. Wow. I don't know. We're all going to probably be stressed out. Well, we'll have an hour to calm down, Rob, before you have an hour to get all amped up and come in on 150.
Well, I can watch it live next week. I'm going to watch it live next week, so then we can start a little bit earlier. So
perfect.
Yeah.
So for next, so thank you guys seriously for dropping in, for chiming in. We will do this again next week. We'll figure out a time that works best. We probably need at least 10 minutes. I need 10 minutes to get my wine and pop some popcorn. So we might start at 11:15 a little bit earlier. Next week on the conversation, and I announced it yesterday. So next week we're starting the Wonderful Wednesday series. Our guests will be Demi Clark and Deborah Woolard, and we are focusing on men and women and organizations who are doing amazing things in this age of the pandemic. So that was supposed to be a 1 show is now turned into 4 because there's just so many amazing people out here doing dope things. So we're really excited about Wonderful Wednesdays. And then, of course, if you haven't done so already, make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe all things social media at The Convo Pod Show. Listen, y'all. Thank you. Now, you know we're going to be talking about this once we go offline. But for those of you tuning in, make sure that you chime in next week, next Thursday at whatever time Verbena is done. I still am working. And nobody needs to chime in next week without liquor or wine or something. There's no way that you're going to be able to tune in next week without some sort of libations. Do what you do. Ain't no judgment here. All right. No. So y'all have a good night. Thank you for tuning in to the conversation. We will see you guys next week. Okay. All right now.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.